I'm constantly surprised by the quality of every aspect of the HT2s and honestly believe Tozo have made something very special here. Closed back over-ear noise cancelling headphones aren't something particularly new, but when they come with an audio quality punch that is way above their price point and make their, well, let's say overpriced competitors look, well, overpriced, then that definitely grabs my attention. So when Hozo reached out with their £50 HT2, I was really excited to see if these budget headphones could be one of our new top 5 gadgets. The first thing that absolutely grabbed my attention is just how well packaged these things are. And when I say packaged, I don't mean it's like safely packaged, I mean it's premiumly packaged, and that definitely grabs your attention. It gives you an idea of what the quality of these things are and the quality of the thing is within inside the box. It's definitely a good first impression. What you actually get inside that box though is quite important. You get the headphones themselves showing their fantastic white color version here. You got a whole range of different colors that you could pick from Hozo. I've got the white ones here, which I think look particularly good. We also get the user manual, the quick start guide, which will walk you through the huge amount that the HT2 can do when connected to the Tozo app. We'll get more on that later because the Tozo app is very important with these headphones. You also get an accessories box, and inside that it's quite simple. You've got a USB-A to USB-C cable, and you're going to use that to charge these up. And you also get a 3.5mm audio jack, a male jack on each side, so you can hardwire these headphones in if you choose to. Perhaps you're going to use it connected to a computer or a gaming console or something like that, then you could use these for that. Not a lot else to talk about in the box apart from that. Basically, all the basics you need to get started in a nice, well-packaged container. But let's talk about the actual physical quality of these, because that is really the first thing you notice once you're getting this out the box, is how well made and how premium Hozo have managed to make a budget set of headphones feel, and it really does kind of defy expectations. I was genuinely surprised at the quality at every angle of these. For £50 to £60 price point, it kind of fluctuates between the two. You can pick them up on Amazon for 50, on their official website it's 60, so I didn't go to Amazon, but I was expecting huge corners to be cut, specifically with the build quality of it. It's quite common to see with budget products that you'll notice where the corners have been cut, and that's not the case with the Tozo HT2s. Every corner I look at and every angle I can find of these headphones seems, well, premium. It outstrips its price point, that's for certain. And if I was blindfolded and told to feel the quality of these, I'd be hard pushed to distinguish the difference in quality between these and their more expensive offerings and competitors from the likes of Bose, Sony, or even Beats as well, which we all know are on the overpriced side of things. The plastic shells just have a premium feel to them all around, and the cushioning of the ear cups, that kind of faux leather of the actual headphones themselves, is really nice, very malleable and extremely comfortable, and more importantly extremely breathable, and we'll get onto that in a minute as well. I would fully expect these to stand the test of time. Just seeing my first impressions of the build quality, obviously I've only lived with these for a short period of time. I've only had them for a couple of weeks, so it's hard to say what they're going to be like in years to come. But if the first impressions is anything to go by, I would say, or at least guess, that these are going to hold up to the test of time. So onto the specs, and these are important because the HT2 is absolutely jammed-packed full of features and specs, and a lot of them sit within the software, so we're going to talk about that as well. The whole unit itself only weighs in at a fairly lightweight 254 grams, and that obviously includes the battery because these are wireless headphones. You get a 500 milliamp hour battery. What does that mean? Well, hardly anyone knows, but actually it means you get around 60 hours of listening time if you're just using them just for headphones. If you are also using the active noise cancellation, which I'm sure you're all going to because it's one of the main features of these headphones, that's reduced down to around 40 hours of running time on a full charge. With the USB-A to C charging cable, that full charge from 0 to 100% will take you about 2 hours, kind of give or take, but I've got it roughly timed at about 2 hours for a full charge. For around 40 hours of listening time with noise cancellation, I say that's a pretty good deal. That battery powers two 40mm dynamic drivers, one in each ear, and these are high-res audio certified, and that just means that they'll work up to 96 kilohertz digital to analog audio conversion. Of course, you have that adaptive noise cancellation and cool noise cancellation. In fact, there's a whole range of different modes, I think 6 in total, of different noise cancellation modes that you can go through either in the app or using the quick buttons on the ear cups themselves. And in fact, these headphones can go even deeper with controls than just what you see on the ear cups themselves. When you connect it to the Tozo app, you also get a whole range of different EQ presets, 16 different presets that you can use in total. So you could tune your music or whatever it is you're doing with these headphones to your absolute preference with 16 different EQ presets, and like I say, the 6 different adaptive noise cancellation presets as well. Connection with your device is controlled by Bluetooth 5.3 with an effective range of around 10 meters, which is kind of typical for most Bluetooth connections. The on-ear controls you have, which are for skipping, call, answering and rejection. You also have the active noise control settings, which you can flick between the presets on your ear as well. And of course, you have the volume up and down rockers there. All the detailed controls for things like the EQ and the presets are all done within the Tozo app and are very simple and stable to use. And that's a big one. The connection to the app itself is extremely stable and reliable. It's one of my pet hates when a gadget relies solely on an app to use, and that app quite often can be the big thing that lets it down, and that's not the case here with the Tozo app. It does just seem to work really well. And that kind of brings us on to what they like to live with. What's using the HT2s actually like, and do we start to see where they've cut corners to get it down to that £50-60 price point? Well, I'm yet to see where they've cut corners, because sound quality wise, let's start for that, which is the most important part from my perspective, is extremely good. Shockingly good. That high-res audio certification for the 96 kilohertz digital to analog audio conversion is phenomenal. It's great to see it on such a budget offering here, and all round the sound is warm, punchy. The higher frequencies, those kind of high mids that tend to be cutting, I'm thinking about the kind of 2 to 4K that seem to cut into your ears a little bit there, well controlled. The fact that you've got the full controls with EQ presets means that you can tailor it exactly as you like. But overall, just the audio quality is phenomenal, considering I'm only spending £50 for such a feature-packed set of headphones. The quick controls on there are actually my preference for using this. Like I say, I have a bit of a pet hate when it does come to apps. I prefer not to have to rely on them, so I've used these by setting them up to a preset that I just enjoy as a general way to listen to music, and then everything else I just control on the headphones themselves. So I've set the EQ up, I've left it, and now I'm just using the quick controls on the headphones themselves to go through the different noise cancellation modes, and of course controlling things like the volume just on there. And for that, the quality of life is extremely high. It just means it's very simple to use and very enjoyable to live with these headphones. And talking about enjoying living with them, that's the other big part here is the comfort, and they are incredibly comfortable. The cushions on each ear have this breathable texture to them, this breathable quality, and I know that in their literature themselves they make a big point about talking about that, which means you don't get overheated ears. Anyone who's used over-ear headphones will know that that's something you tend to deal with. If you're a gamer or someone who listens to music a lot with headphones on, your ears tend to get hot and sweaty. These breathe quite a lot, so you get quite a lot of airflow through them, which means that doesn't happen as much. It will still happen if you're playing for 5-6 hours, then you're still going to get some hot, sweaty ears, but not as much as I would expect, and they've definitely given it some consideration there. In truth, I'm constantly surprised by the quality of every aspect of the HD2s, and honestly believe Tozo have made something very special here. But really then, who are these for? Well, obviously, if you're a more budget-conscious consumer or just someone who wants something that's a bit more casual, then these are obviously going to be for you. If you don't want a huge investment into something made by Bose or Sony or Beats, and you just want something quick, simple, and cheaper to use, then these are definitely going to do it. And if you do fall into that camp, these are really going to surprise you at how good they are. Also, if you're someone that's not swayed by the branding of those more expensive competitors, then I think the Tozo HT2 will absolutely do you really well. And like I say, for that £50 price point, these are going to offer you huge bang for buck. When you consider how well made these are, the stability of the software, the audio quality, it's really hard to ignore these in my search for top 5 gadgets. But I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are these in your top 5 gadgets? And if not, what else should I be looking for you in our search for the top 5 gadgets? And whilst you're down there, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel so you see more from us here at Top 5 Gadgets, and I will see you next time.